The bill before us is concerning, do we tax more and spend more, or do we actually start learning how to save more? And the specific issue, and frankly, I come down to the mic because the discussion in the last few minutes has been concerning a rainy day fund, and having run a measure to create a rainy day fund in 2003 and 2004 and 2005 and 2006 and 2007 and 2008 and 2009, and I'll be joining Representative Cory Gardner in 2010. I think I can speak with a little bit of knowledge and understanding and credibility in this area. We need to look at the facts, the core facts, and this is what this bill is really all about in one component, even as all the bills we're looking at in this series of debates here, and that is, do we go to the people for more money to spend more, or do we finally come to terms with the reality that every family in Colorado has had to face, and that is, you live within your means. And the families, they don't have the sword of government to point at somebody and say, we're short, come up with more. And unfortunately, what we're doing through this tax and spend mentality is to kill the golden goose, that being the private sector in Colorado. We are discouraging business from thriving by every additional tax burden we put in place, and in agriculture in particular. If you haven't been out there year after year after year working the land, I respectfully submit that you don't understand what's happening out there. You don't understand how difficult it is to live. You know, it reminds me of the old joke about the farmer who won $1 million, and when they asked him what is he going to do with it, he said, I don't know, I suppose I'll just farm till it's gone. It's true. Honestly, it's very true. This is the last industry we should turn to dig a little more out of. Now, should we be prudent in our financial planning? Yes. And as I've told you, I'll bring another rainy day bill provision to you this year. It establishes a fund, a real long-term fund. You know, when I hear tales that we set it up with Senate Bill 228 last year, that rings hollow in my ears because I know too much about what they are and what 228 did. It's more of the tax and spend mentality. We have to get back to the prudent reality of if you spend a little bit less than what your revenues are, long term, you will prosper. That works for personal finances, it works for a business, it works for a nonprofit, it will work for government. And it does work for some governments. Do you know the state of Texas is putting $3 billion into a rainy day fund this year? Oh, I forgot, they don't have our oil and gas regulations. But it can be done if you seek policies that expand the productivity of your state rather than constantly hamstring them by as many taxes and fees as you can get away with. This bill before us today is one more nail in the coffin of the economic prosperity for Colorado. I beg of you, reconsider. Don't do it. I know the people of Colorado are telling you the same thing. Don't do it. Sure, there are some special interests out there whose bed gets feathered by all this, but the people of Colorado have had it. That's why we had thousands and thousands of people outdoors here in the Capitol grounds last April 15th. Now, do you see a relationship between why they were there and when they were there? Please don't do it. vote no on this bill. We can turn this ship around if we can put a little bit of reason and rationality into it. You remember my discussion a little bit earlier today about the Laffer curve. That's not some pure speculation. That's just an observation of economic truth. You tax too much and you shut the economy down. And in ag, it's on a knife edge as it is. I had a constituent of mine up in the Wellington area on Saturday explain to me precisely why the hail and the frost drove them to a $23,000 loss. And that was just a very small operation. And it was in discussion on this very bill. She was begging, please don't do it. We can't afford it. Please, please vote no.